One always asks me what is the best steak you've ever made. Well, this is it. And that's because of this special ingredient right here. This compound butter is so powerful that it will make chicken taste like steak. Now to make it, it's easy. You see, into a food processor, you want to combine butter, followed by gochujang, garlic paste, chives, parmesan cheese, and blend everything on high. Then close it up with some cleach plastic. Let it rest on your refrigerator, as in the end, you are left with this. The next thing that comes is the steak. You want to season it with salt first, then a very special rub. To be specific, Nashville hot fry rub, which has quite a few ingredients. A little bit of cayenne, garlic powder, black pepper, brown sugar, a little bit of smoked paprika. Mix everything well and now you have the rub. Then you want to season your steak with it. Once it's fully seasoned, take it outside and grill that thing up as best as you can. Now right towards the end, when you're almost done, you want to put that compound butter right on top and melt the whole thing on it. Because in the end, you should be left with a perfect medium rare steak that should be delicious.
I smoked a flank steak for the first time and it was definitely worth it. We're going to start with a simple marinade of olive oil, soy sauce, red wine vinegar, lime juice, brown sugar, Dijon mustard, chili flakes, garlic powder, and black pepper. Just give it a mix and then we can add our flank steak. Just make sure both sides are covered, then pop the lid on and get it in the fridge for at least 30 minutes. Normally I let mine go for about an hour. Then it's time to take out the steak, wipe off the marinade, and then we're going to head outside and get it on the smoker at 225. Now the cook time is definitely going to vary based on the steak. I let mine go until the internal hit 125, then I bust out the Sear Pro and gave it a nice crust. Then all we need to do is take it inside and let it rest. Now this was an American Wagyu flank steak, so it was juicy as could be. And as you can see, we nailed that cook. Definitely give this one a shot.
I like mine well done.
Let's cook a perfect piece of Wagyu beef. We're starting with a cut off this A5 BMS 12 bavette steak, also called sirloin flat meat. Once they're all cut up, they look like this. This piece of Wagyu is much thicker than your typical ribeye or strip you would get, so we're going to sous vide it to an internal temp of 125 Fahrenheit. That'll give you a rare center, then we can sear it on all sides and bring it up to medium rare. After 2 hours in the sous vide, it looks like this. It's time to remove all of this liquid and pat it dry. I'm now going to season this with salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Traditionally, people will just use salt at this step, but I like to add all three. The goal here is to get a nice crust on each side of this steak. Now you can use a cast iron pan, but I actually used this metal grill plate. It was only $20 offline. It gets super hot on a propane grill. Be sure to push this into the pan. You're going to do about 45 seconds per side. You don't want any bare spots. You want a nice sear on the entire surface of the steak. Once it's fully seared, let it rest for a few minutes and let's cut into this. This thing is a masterpiece. Be sure to give this technique a try if you ever get a thick piece of Wagyu beef. Once it's all cut up, it looked like this. I brushed it down with a little bit of aged soy sauce. This was out of control tasty.
If you're wondering what I'm smudging all over this steak, it's actually one of my favorite ingredients, black garlic. And I finally found the best way to infuse the flavor into a steak. After I coat the entire steak with truffle salt and minced black garlic, let's bag it up and get it in the sous vide for 2 hours at 120. Now I can definitely admit it doesn't look great coming out of the bag, but let's wipe off the black garlic, then head outside and put on a sear. I'm going to sear it hot and fast using charcoal and wood fire, which should help us get a nice crust pretty quickly. And after a few minutes, we can head inside and the steak definitely looks great. And after trying it, this is hands down the best black garlic steak yet. Give it a shot.
That's still raw.
That is how you cook a steak to perfection. And I did everything with my cast iron skillet. You can use any steak you like, but I'm using a ribeye. I like to keep my seasoning very simple with salt, freshly ground black pepper, and garlic powder, nothing else. It is very important to put a good amount of oil in the pan. If not, you won't get a good sear. When you lay your steak down, you should hear a sizzle. Let it sear for a total of 1 minute and then flip. Now you take a look at that. It looks like it's almost ready, but it's not. After flipping it, I like to throw in some butter. You want to baste the steak for about 1 minute. Notice that my butter is not burning. If your butter starts getting golden brown, that's a good thing. But if it's black, something went terribly wrong. For a 1-inch steak like this, you want to cook it for 4 minutes total. That should give you a perfect medium rare in the middle, which is 135 degrees Fahrenheit. Because once you are done, you have results like this. Now that is a medium rare steak, and it is delicious.
That's still raw.
This is how to cook a perfect medium rare steak on your stovetop. Grab a nice steak, I'm using these filet mignons. Pat them dry all over with a paper towel, make sure you're getting the sides as well. Season those up everywhere including the sides. I'm just using salt, but you can use whatever seasoning you'd like. Throw your pan on the stove, medium-high heat. Once that's smoking hot, throw in some ghee. Once that's all melted down, get those steaks in the pan. I'm doing 2 minutes here on each side. Make sure you don't move them so they get a nice sear. 2 minutes are up, go ahead and flip those and you should have a nice crust just like that. With the filet, make sure you sear it on all sides as well. After 2 minutes on each side, go ahead and take those steaks out, let them rest, and cool down your pan to low heat. Next step is to finish cooking the steaks while butter basting them. Go ahead and throw in some butter, rosemary, and garlic into your pan. Put those steaks back in and baste them. I'm flipping them about every minute for a total of 2 minutes per side. Once those are done to your desired temperature, go ahead and let them rest on top of the rosemary and garlic for about 5 to 8 minutes. And then boom, you should have a perfectly cooked steak. This came out to a nice medium rare. Enjoy that steak.
Tasty. That looks lovely.
I've always heard the more butter you use, the better the steak. We're going to get 5 pounds of butter stacked up and melted down into a nice butter bath. Then we're going to hit it with a garlic butter seasoning and then give our steak the bath that it deserves.
That's a lot of butter. What's he gonna do with it after he's cooked the steak?
We're going to pop our steak in the oven at 175 degrees for 30 minutes. And then when our steak reaches our desired temperature, we're going to pull this out and get a nice sear on it. Then this steak is going to be ready to enjoy.
Thanks for watching 16 of the world's best steak recipes. If your mouth's watering, hit the like button and subscribe for more global steak goodness. Got a favorite cut or recipe?
This is episode 3 of Secrets from a Professional Chef. How to